and welcome back to our community forum with Mayor Joe Preston.
I just want to say how great the new intro looks with all of the aerial shots. It's drone heaven.
It's so fun putting those together.
No, we haven't tried to. Yeah, perfect. Our community looks really good from. So perfect.
It always looks good. You know, it's so fun.
Right.
You hear Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, and yeah, it is not cool right now. It is hot. Does St. Thomas have like a cooling center going on? Where is that?
Yes, we've announced that today. Of course, the Joe Thornton Center will be open till much later. And if you were at the home show, you saw how cool it was in there when the ice is in. So it will be fantastic. And of course, In Out of the Cold has overnight relief for those people staying there. And, just not official cooling centers, but the St. Thomas, the Elgin Center is a great place to go and just sit or walk. And so we have, if indeed the heat is a problem where you live, the Joe Thornton Center and the Elgin Center and, some of our other great stores would be happy to. Right?
Absolutely. And Adam Montgomery is saying, head to the variety store and buy one of those big ice bags. Maybe slide in there for a few minutes. In the ice box, that is.
Just go into your local variety store and look in the ice cream chest for as long as they'll let you.
Right?
It's the spot. Yeah. Okay. Do that, okay?
I had one thing I wanted to follow up on. We had a follow-up question for Peter Roca from Start.ca. If you're watching last week, you saw that he was on talking about the new fiber network that they're taking over from Integris and how they're going to expand on that in terms of the services they can provide. And so we had a question coming in about capacity if you are actually getting Start.ca over the cable network, which you can also do right now. In terms of capacity, he said, regarding the question about capacity, if you're talking about the fiber services we're bringing to St. Thomas, then no, it's a completely separate system. So it's 100% their own network from end to end, and they'll always over-engineer their own network to ensure they never run into capacity issues. Now, in terms of the Rogers network or any other cable internet services they're providing through someone else who's running a system, then it's all one network that is shared, i.e. there isn't any reserving or inversely not making available any capacity on the network. So that's like, say, would they have a certain selection? Say Rogers oversells their section or another internet company oversells theirs. He's saying actually you can't, everyone shares it equally. There's no messing around with that. There isn't any reserving.
The rules literally that you could share someone else's line, but no one can block. You can't meter. You can't do it that way. So you're right. It's an equal sharing there, but we'll start as they move forward to full fiber in St. But for now, you also get full capacity that's out there through somebody else's lines.
And they say they rarely see any capacity issues inside the Rogers last mile, but on the case when they do, they're very active in getting them addressed. So the augmentation required for both Start.ca and their retail customers. And he said, 90% of the time, the slowness issues are really a Wi-Fi issue within the home, and they're actually really good at helping their customers solve those.
Yeah. And they will come help with that. If it's the router issue and it's a Start.ca router, they'll help you with that too. So perfect.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what was happening at council?
I've got papers all over the place. Ran in, but here, the first at council, and we really want to tell people about it, is we did a first of the civic award presentations. These are people in our community that have been nominated for a civic award, and we've said that at least one a month we will have groups or singles in to be recognized, and they get a very nice certificate and a pin that says civic award. And we had Aiden and Tristan Cole. They're twin brothers who are track and field stars from a cross-country point of view and from St. Joe's, I believe, and they are just, the nicest people you want to meet. of course, that's always a good thing too. But they're both cross-country runners, and I had to ask them at council. In the resume, in the story about them, they both, at a very early age started running and playing soccer, and they tied in a cross-country meet. I said, you must have arranged that. They said, oh yeah, we kind of waited and crossed the line at exactly the same time so that it could be a tie. But the competition was behind them, and that was their point. The next person we recognized was Jim Collins with the Harvest Hands group. Yeah, and look, at Jim and his group, we recognize the people who lead it, and Jim has been really responsible for turning this into an international distributor of food and to those that need it from a hunger point of view. So we recognize Jim, and we can't do that enough, but we wanted to make sure that we talked about him distributing food to food banks and missions and soup kitchens and individual families across Southern Ontario and internationally. What a great contribution to our city he offers. And then our friend Darian Gordon was also nominated as here's a young lad, and he and I have got to know each other pretty well over the last number of years. His third year of high school, but he's already put in volunteer hours. And yet we have some people say, I can't find volunteer opportunities. I can't get enough volunteers, because you have to have a certain number now to graduate. They're out there if you go looking for them. Ryan was so great at the market, the drive-by market last year, the market that distributed to your car, and certainly at the Horton Market, and a number of other volunteer opportunities. But just something special about Darian is, I remember reading on Facebook one night somebody saying, it was somebody's mother saying, so-and-so is about to attend Central High School and doesn't have any friends yet in St. Thomas, and Darian's name pops up immediately. Say, just get him to message me. I'll help him out through his first 2 or 3 days. And it's the type of citizenry we really look for in the community. So always happy to recognize Darian. But I wanted to say a couple of nights about his mom. Good kids come from good parents, but Tracy, I believe her name is, and I talk occasionally, because if you don't remember, Darian was also the member of I put papers in front of my camera. Darian was when you take your child to work day, he was the mayor this year. He came to my office, and we spent some good time together there too, so it's great. The next person we recognized was Allison Pimlat, and she won a Youth STEM Award from us. On the Parkside Institute Thunderstamps, the robotic team from Parkside, and her leading of that program. And boy, I don't think we can teach better than to teach science and technology, engineering and math to young people. But what a fun way. We have a couple of great robotics teams in town, and maybe more than a couple, but for us for them, they've gone to the World Championships this year, and have done great locally, the Thunderstamps over the last couple of years. And so we recognized Allison for her contributions and kind of leading that, and being an exemplary model in the STEM community, and a representative of St. Thomas. These are all people who live in St. Thomas, so that's how you get recognized. We'll talk more about that. And then the St. Thomas Express Iron Spikes under 14 volleyball team, and they for the first time moved a silver medal at the Ontario Championships and other championships they've won this year. What great ambassadors they are for the city of St. Thomas, and so as you can see, a great mix of sports, science, technology, and engineering. Great citizenry in Jim Collins and in Darian. So what we want you to do, there is now a form on our city website, stthomas.ca, where you can nominate someone. And we know that over the last couple of years with COVID, we've had lots of people who have done some great things in St. Thomas, and even beyond that. So please get get your computer out, go to stthomas.ca, pull up the form on civic awards, and think of someone you can nominate. We would love to do this at every council meeting. I'm probably not speaking for all of council, but if we can recognize people from St. Thomas each time, we'll do it. If it takes special council meetings to do it, we'll do it. But we haven't been able to do the Civic Awards banquet for a couple of years, and we think our best way is to do it online, on air, at the council meetings, and show off St. Thomas's best there. So please nominate your candidate for a St. Thomas Civic Award. So that was the first part of council. Before we even started this week, we got all of that done. Right? And then we did a lot more. There's a number of things on the council agenda from this week that I'm sorry, I'm going to quit the camera with my papers, but we heard from our social services department on early learning and the childcare piece. There's been, of course, some of you have heard that there's now a national program to try and get to that $10 a day childcare, and Ontario's also signed on to it. And this is St. Thomas saying, yes, we can do it, and we'll help do it too, and brought a great report to council about how we can lower the cost of childcare and hopefully increase the number of spots for childcare in St. Thomas. So that was the first report. We talked a lot about, and the next thing was about new bylaw on lot maintenance. And this time of year, we do hear a fair bit. Well, wait, you're not meeting the criteria, tidy lots, or people, grass is overgrown, or those types of things. And we still want you to report those types of things, so we go to look at it. But we also have now a number of citizens who are doing a great job calling what we call naturalization of their lots, right? Where the front lawn may not be as trimmed as it used to be, but it's natural plants and bushes and grasses. And so we want to not cause us to have to cite them under a tidy lot bylaw by saying, here's some of the rules on that. You can't certainly block a sidewalk, you can't do some other things, but please take care of our environment by you having your lot look the way you want it to look, provided it is also still cared for. So that was another one. We passed the final property tax rates, but we talked about those over the last couple of weeks. We proposed that our city manager, Sandra Daters-Bear, be nominated to the board of directors for AMO, the Ontario Municipality Association. Sorry, Association of Municipalities of Ontario. I got to get the AMO letters right. Right. So fantastic. We said, yes, we'd love to have you doing that. It connects us to a lot of things that AMO does for municipalities and gives us a direct direction to that. So we'd love that to continue to happen. World Elder Abuse Day was today. It was proclaimed today, but I think I shared last week they came and visited me and brought me some balloons, some other stuff, but we made that declaration today. We're looking at International Overdose Awareness Day for August 31st, and council agreed that we'll do a proclamation and flag raising for that. And we talked about the Columbus Club Summerfest coming up on June 25th. And it's a great fundraiser that the Columbus Club does at their site on June 25th. And we know what great work the Columbus Club does in our city also. So we wanted to make sure we told people of that. That's pretty much what we had at council this week. And then very special, we had a public meeting, and often public meetings are about a zoning change so that we can put higher density buildings or to do other things, and some of them can be quite conversational, I'll put it that way. But this one was about a group that wants to put a animal-themed mini golf course at the front end of Pinafore Park on the private land that the McKeggs own on the front end of Pinafore Park. They're leasing it to this group. An 18-hole, beautiful-looking mini golf course, but it takes a zoning bylaw change. The only trouble I had with it, as much as I love mini golf, is it is currently zoned residential, and with the housing crisis we have, I would still like to see it be residential, but a previous council had turned down a residential building on that site, and so the owner has gone and leased it to these people to run a mini golf course, an appropriate place next to Pinafore Park. So we'll wait for the report back from council after the public meeting on that. We were busy. It was a pretty busy council meeting, so it was great to get all of those things done in one night. And we look forward to council again Monday with more neat, great things we can do for the city of St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Braden, I want to share with you, there's a couple of questions after last week's announcement of us building or accumulating the land for a mega plant, industrial complex for St. Thomas. And we looked at doing that as a smart way of doing growth. But a couple of questions come in and say, well, okay, then Mayor Joe, what's your vision for the next 5 years or the next 10 years in St. Thomas? And I know you and I have talked about it a little, but we wanted to make sure it goes here, right? And we tell it to the thousands of people who watch Mayor's Update. We keep calling it smart growth. We know that we're going to grow St. Thomas by about 1,000 people a year or 5,000 people every 5 years. That's what the last census said. It really looks like we'll do that again and continue to do it. Well, if you're attracting 5,000 new people to St. Thomas in a 5-year period of time, we best have jobs for them. That's the reason our city has looked at what can we do in order to ensure we have enough economic land or industrial land for us to be able to do that. You know what else we have to have is housing. We have to have enough places to put the people who are right now saying, right now, I would like to live in St. Thomas. So we continue to work with our home builders and work with, I'm waving my hands because I'm sitting in the Alma College apartment building, a new apartment building just opened and pretty full. And we need to build a lot of these, and we need to continue to look for as much housing as we can do. But with all of those things comes all of the other amenities, like the city, the last council finished the One Password Park and some of the other recreational facilities we have to do. I saw some fantastic drone pictures of Pinafore Park this week. I can't remember who they were. Wait, they were Graydon's. And talking about how to build better parks and do a better job of that type of thing. So our vision for the next 5 years is not to try and prevent it from happening, but participate in its happening, ensuring that there's housing, that there's jobs, that the amenities in St. Thomas, and some of them are as boring as wastewater treatment or water lines or widening roads. And we'll have to do all of those things. And so our plan is to be able to point at what we're doing to make St. Thomas a better place to live, not today, but because we'll do that anyway. But 4 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what will St. Thomas look like? And what action did this council take to make that possible? So I wanted to make sure I answered that question tonight. And we'll have it here on Mayor's Updates for others to go listen to if they need to. But as I said, I can't open it right now as to who has asked us what we will do. But somebody did and has asked me a couple times this week. Been a little busy week. So I thought, well, we'd leave it on to Mayor's Update. What's the question we have here?
We have a question coming in from Zach Bernicki. It says, with the possible looming recession, does council have any plans on cutting back on spending in any areas? I hope that if the economy continues to nosedive, that you manage to continue funding supporting social services. Not sure what areas council could cut back spending on, but I'm sure you could find some things while managing to continue to fund important projects, etc.
And Zach, you're absolutely right. We have to look at both ends of growth. If indeed we were to ever go to a recessionary time, we're into a fairly high level of inflation right now, but I'm not sure we're yet predicting recession because housing sales and the markets are still going well, but we have to, as a council, be ready for each end. The way St. Thomas has been expanding in the past few years, it's given us some freedom to do things that we might have waited a couple more years to do. But with the increased tax income from those new homes and apartments, we've been able to say, well, let's do it now. Let's move forward, but keep our tax rates where those that are in their own homes can afford the taxation here in St. Thomas. So the answer is we must be aware, as Zach is asking, what if it went the other way? There's always things we're doing as a community that we can delay. We've set up a budget to move forward, whether it's a new fire hall or a new some more supportive housing, and a number of other things that we'll do as a city. We can always say, well, okay, let's delay that by 6 months. That delays the cost by 6 months, so we can prepare it into another year. That type of thing. We're cognizant of it. We're informed of it by our treasurer and the city manager all the time as to what it looks like, what's happening. But I think for the next little while, because of the growth in St. Thomas, we can plan for growth rather than at all preparing for a recessionary time. But we better be ready if we need to.
I think that the nice thing about St. Thomas too is that the spending is very constrained isn't the right word, but efficient maybe.
We won't take on debt. This council's been very good at saying, yeah, I love to grow, love to have it. We're currently researching a recreational facility that may include a pool, but before we get there, we will come back to the people and ask them, it will cost this much. Is it something you'd like us to take on the debt to do? One Password Park wasn't cheap, and so we did take on some debt before this council was in place to get that done. We will continue to look that way. Look, if we have to, we are planning, we will need to do a wastewater treatment plant. As we grow, we'll need to process more of that. And that's not a cheap thing, but we will, mostly growth covers growth. And so the council gets to decide kind of what's first, what's second, what's third. And sure love to hear from you. If you've got great ideas on that, I'm happy to listen and then listen to our experts as to what we should do.
And Adam Montgomery is saying, worst case in a recession, at least we'll have some mini putt to get us through.
Well, if indeed that happens, and that's the zoning change for that piece. So as the mayor said, I still would love it to be a number of residential units instead of a mini golf, and I think there's probably other places we can do even a community center and a pool and that type of thing. But it's not one or the other; it is all. But in what order and how much of all can we do to make St. Thomas grow and be a fantastic place to come and live?
All right, and we've got some events that are coming up as well, so we should mention those.
Right.
We have, I think most exciting one probably is Airfest. Maybe I'm biased because I like planes.
Coming up, sure, yeah.
It's June 24th to 26th, so people.
Yeah, if you haven't got your tickets, get them. And I know a lot of people with Airfest wonder, well, what if the weather, and what planes will come? Look, they've never disappointed us, the Airfest group here in St. Thomas. They have always surprised us with how great of a show it can be over a weekend. So we want to tell you, they have a gala night on the Friday night, and then the Saturday, Sunday, the normal air show, but even with new things this year. A lot of flying airplanes, a lot of static displays to go visit, but please, our airport's a lovely place to go visit too. So Airfest, don't forget it, right? And get your tickets early so that they can help do the best they can do is running an air show.
And then a little closer to home, we've got the Wildflower Solstice Fest, which is coming up this Saturday from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
So spring or summer solstice, whatever we call this. What is it when we move from spring to summer? I guess it's the
summer.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
And,
summer. You mean it's not summer out there today? It sure is summer temperatures.
Feels very summery. I'm feeling very warm right now at home.
So Wildflowers is doing that. And they do a great job of these events. And if you've not been to Wildflowers, go to one of their Friday night
market
and go visit them. I mean, they have a wonderful place for a wedding. They have wonderful places and great vendors and great food, and they're great people. They really are. So we don't mind bragging on them a little bit either. Right?
Chuck and Jane are fantastic, and Honey too. If you ever go to the Horton Market,
I like honey, but I'm really not sure I can deal with bees. But they do really well. So please keep it up.
absolutely.
We have our market every Saturday also. We need to talk about the Horton Market every week to remind people what a great place. This is the time of year where every time you go, there's new stuff because more crops come along. And as much as I love rhubarb and asparagus, and now we're into strawberries. Those are the nice spring into summer products.
And we've got some great strawberry producers here. We got Ferguson's, we got Howe's. Like you can get some of the best strawberries in the world right here in Elgin County.
Right. But I will lean towards rhubarb. But but you know what? Strawberries and rhubarb together is a fantastic way to make a pie, a tart, or just in a bowl. So very good.
Totally. And Caps Off has their music night, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. this Saturday as well.
Right. And Caps Off's been doing music most Saturdays now. But don't take the chance. Get out to one or all. It is a great place. I stopped in to say hi to Fran and Rick today, and you'll never be disappointed in the beverages at Caps Off. And I think we're trying to do Mayor's Update from Caps Off again next week. So
I think we should
out and do live Mayor's Update with us if you want. We'll answer your questions live, and we like having a live audience. Jojo barks now, but that's all I've got here. So another one coming up, Graydon, that I wanted to share because they came and visited me this week too, is the Railway City Music and Arts Festival going on in Pinafore Park, August 18th to 21st. I love our Pinafore Park, and as you've already shared, you've done some fantastic pictures over there. But I'd love to see us holding more festival events in Pinafore Park, using this beautiful place to hold these events. The Railway City Music and Arts Festival will be doing that on those days, and they are currently, please go to their website or their Facebook page if you're looking to be a sponsor. I signed up this week, and I think more should. This is a great community event. Please get out there and do that. Help them run this one. Last year's was their kind of trial, but during still some COVID. And this year is the first big one. And festivals like this can only repeat if they have successful years. And so I'd love you to truly help. And look, even before that one, we've got what? Our downtown Nostalgia Nights. Oh, last year, if you weren't there, I don't know how you weren't, because at least 10,000 people were downtown.
But officially 4,999.
Yeah, but they didn't count them all because I was there. I talked to at least 10,000. But anyway, it is a fantastic event downtown of every car that you had in your youth or wanted to have in your youth, but plus the people who really care to bring their cars out and show them off. Fantastic night. Please, that's coming up July 19th. Am I right? I think
is it 9th? It might be the 9th. Let me double check that right now.
Well, anyway, we'll put it up on our thing here. And the weekend following that, you're right, because the weekend following that is Mural Fest.
Yes.
Right? And if you haven't noticed, we have a couple of murals here in St. Thomas, and we'd like to show off some new ones, starting with this Mural Fest also. And part of Talbot Street will be closed. There'll be some live music on Talbot Street and some other great things you can do in community, going to look at other murals. But Graydon, you were in Montreal last week for their, when you were a spy. It is July 9th, I'm very sorry, on the auto show, Nostalgia Nights, and we've now put that up. And then the Mural Fest happens the following weekend. But tell us about Montreal's Mural Fest. Have they got near as many murals as St. Thomas has?
Well, they're working to compete with us. It's a hard path to follow, the St. Thomas path. But they're really trying to compete. They're really trying to put up as many murals as St. Thomas has. And they've got some good artists coming in. We have some great artists. They're expanding their roster, and we celebrate any community that is trying to increase the arts in their area. So being there it was really nice to see other communities trying to follow in that leadership role that we have in murals within.
Great. But they have to do murals in both official languages, and so it's harder. Right. Yeah.
It's a lot more text.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see what new will be offered to St. Thomas this year in the way of new murals. Mm-hmm. But even just having people come and see what we've done, it's just incredible.
People are still
talking to Mayor Holder and said he needs to come out and see how you do a festival like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we have such a great crew at SBEC and Railway City Tourism that are helping pull this all together. The one that I'm most excited for is the one that's going to go on the trestle.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for that large one on the trestle underneath the elevated park.
It was supposed to go up earlier, but yeah.
COVID stopped us, and the artist was not well. We had to. Great, it will happen, but it'll be permanent for a long time. I, as the mayor, worry about accidents caused by how beautiful that big mural looks along Sunset Drive. So we'll need to make sure.
Yeah, there's a cost to art sometimes.
Yes. Right. I agree. Right.
But I'm very stoked, and I'll be painting the mural inside Horton Market, which I'm really stoked about. If you've already been there, you've seen the wrap, which is the first part of it, and then I'm going to be painting into the wrap within that interior space, which is pretty exciting for me as an artist.
We talk a lot about upcoming events, and we know there's more, and we know there's other great businesses in town. I think one of them we were talking about was Mugford's is having a 57th anniversary. I think tomorrow. It's a happy birthday thing at their store, and if you're a Mugford's customer or not, give them a ring and go visit. It's a great business in our downtown and a solidly run business in our downtown. So we need to make sure we also talk about when people are having special events that are business related.
Absolutely. And another event that's coming up is June 21st, which is the Every Child Matters Memorial. And it's 2 p.m. at Holy Angels Church. And it was kicked off last year for the first time. And then they're doing the second one next week on Tuesday. So I want to mention that as well.
So come out, please. Mm-hmm. Come see our downtown. It is really quite a special place right now, and it is filling. And we're really pleased with the events and the attraction to our community. It's tough downtown. You may want to shop at one end and then have another mission you have to do at the other end. And do I take my car? Do I stroll all the way down? What do I do? And the DDB, the Downtown Development Board, which you and I both serve on, often wonders how do we get people to do more than one stop, right? So let's talk about it. Let's find you 2 or 3 more stores between the 2 you wanted to visit, and you find where they are in downtown and make it that kind of a trip. Right?
Totally. And Matt Sharp is saying at Canada Day in the Park, the Kinsmen have 3 bands playing from 4 till dusk in the dance pavilion. So this must be new.
No, I should also share Canada Day in the Park is coming up. July 1st will come up very soon. Matt, thank you for reminding me to talk about Canada Day in the Park and the Kinsmen. The Kinsmen and the Optimists are both running, kind of their barbecues and beer gardens in the park for us as a fundraiser for both of those organizations that help our community in so many ways, especially the Kinsmen on Canada Day on the fireworks side also. And they sell fireworks too, so come see the big display or go purchase from the Kinsmen as a way to help them out. So in their beer garden at the Dance Pavilion, the big pavilion, they will have some bands playing from 4 o'clock till the fireworks are about to start. And what a great place to come. And as we said, we're making the event far more about the fireworks this year and the fundraising of the Kinsmen and Optimist Club. So please come through the day and have some fun in the park. And at 4 o'clock, some of the events will start to happen. So Perfect. Come run through the splash pad. Go play on the playground equipment. Go show people from out of town what Pinafore Park looks like, so they can all feel bad and go back to their own communities and perhaps do something similar.
And if you haven't been before, the Canada Day celebrations in Pinafore are just fantastic.
Yeah.
I was there at the last one right before COVID, and it was just like it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So like it's just one of the things where COVID is like, why you destroyed.
Right. So it will be a fantastic fireworks celebration, but with the help of our kinsmen and optimists, please go help them out, raise the funds they can raise to do what they can do. I want to also, another one, the Golden K Kiwanis invited the mayor in for a conversation yesterday and had a great talk with a large number of Golden K. And for those that don't know the Golden K Kiwanis in our community, it's the senior Kiwanis Club. And they don't truly do much fundraising or gifting, except of their help. They'll be the arms and legs of helping you run events. If you ask Golden K, they will join in that way. I know the seniors picnic is also coming up, and the Golden K always plays a large role in the seniors picnic in Pinafore Park. Also, some of us are now seniors and now know that that's a great event.
And I just posted a link to the previous Pinafore Park celebrations back in 2019.
Right.
You can take, if you're new to the community or you're here but you've never gone before, you can take a look at some of those pictures to get a little taste of like the excitement.
Right. And it won't be exactly the same this year. We're trying to start later and finish with a great big fireworks, but it's the Canada Day celebration in our most beautiful place. So yes, take a look at what we've done in the past and come out and visit the park this year. Now there's an important market we get closer to July 1st, we better tell again about how it's better to park off-site and walk in and those things, but we'll leave that for next week's show, really the one before or two before the next, the Canada Day celebrations.
Mm-hmm. And we've got another thing that's coming up as well. I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything about food security, and we'll fill you in a little bit more. We're going to have a guest on next week to talk a little bit about that.
Right.
And then we'll do a show on, I think it's like Thursday. Well, we're still lining up the exact times for all of that. But we're going to talk a little bit about food security on Thursday and how you can do coupon saving with tips and tricks.
Oh, excellent. All right.
Yeah. And it's with Sarah Coleman and Counting on Change. And you've probably heard of her.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, we've got a lot of events. We've come back into event heaven, haven't we? Considering where we've been the last couple of years, we've got a lot of things going on in our community. If you can't find something to do, you're not looking, right? Yeah.
Totally. All right. So is there anything else that's come up for you that we should share here, Mayor Joe?
Well, look, we've been just zooming along, as you saw by that council meeting. Lots of things happening, but we like this to be an open forum. If there's people who have questions about things in our community, let us know, please. This is the place to do it, to ask the questions in the larger scale. And I will share with you that the mayor's Facebook probably isn't the right place to report things. That customer service is still your best bet if you want to get I don't know, what was today, a dead raccoon someplace. Call up our customer service. It even says on our website how to do it, what to do that way. Look, if somebody talked about the, weeds are growing or lawns that are in disarray. Use our customer service system to tell people about it. It goes to our departments. And if it's one of our parks and such, we'll get right at it as soon as we can. If it's a private property, we will talk to the property owner about getting it taken care of. Mm-hmm. But please, I wish we got more of the questions that I'm asked when I'm out in public here on Mayor's Update. Because I'd rather answer them to 100 people than answer them to 100 times. It just easier. If you've got questions about your community and something the city council could do or the mayor could do, this is your place to ask, and we'll try and get you all the answers we can. Sometimes it won't be that night, but it will be in the subsequent show, as we did with the Start.ca people this week. another question, we'll ask them, hey, what happens if this happens? And we get the answer out to you.
And it's something that you can also look up at any time. So you can go on Facebook, you can do a search, you can find your answer to your question. And it's a very efficient system.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit too, Graydon. We post Mayor's Update after this show tonight. It goes up and it's on Facebook for at least the whole week, and then it's archived at Established Media. So every show we've ever done, I think, is there someplace.
It's totally accessible, yeah.
We're looking. Wait, you said last June that this could happen. Yeah, okay, I have. There's a record of it, right? But we really want you to watch tonight and ask the questions live. But if not, go on, ask your question on Facebook on the Established Media Mayor's Update site, and we'll get back to you. We'll answer it the next week, we hope. Okay?
Yeah, we'll do our best. And we should do a trivia question as well.
Oh, we should do a trivia question. I didn't have one.
I've got one, and this is we've got the municipal elections coming up. How many councillor positions are there in St. Thomas? I think this should be an easier one for our viewers. It's very easy.
Yeah. There is a number of councillors that sit at our council. Right? You tell us what you think the answer is to that.
All right.
And I'll tell you, they're all good. I'm very pleased with this council. So they do a great, hardworking job also. They make it easy to be the mayor because there's great advice comes from all of them.
Well, we have one answer. Is that a correct answer that's come in?
No, it is not. Right.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm waiting now.
I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised that people don't know this right off the hop.
Right. And I will accept one of two things, because the council is inclusive of the mayor, right? So there's a total that includes the mayor or a total that is just the councilors, and I will accept either one of those tonight.
Okay.
What is our prize? What are we working off?
This is to enter in the draw for the jumbo art print.
Excellent. Okay.
We'll probably do the draw next.
Sharon is correct with 9.
There we go.
We have 8 councilors and a mayor, so our council is 9. Right?
And Matt saying you should have known that. And Matt, I was so surprised. I was like, Matt, how do you not know this?
It happened, Matt. Yeah. Well, there's 1 or 2 he doesn't like, and he forgot about them.
Well, maybe he's being nice too, because he won the print draw the last one.
True. That's true. So Sharon, you're now in the draw for our June prize, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we'll draw it next week at Caps Off.
Right. Oh yeah, live draw. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to come up with a good trivia question to do live next week. So our final entry is has a value. I like it.
I love it.
How many types of beer or ale or beverages does Caps Off brew? No, it's not. It doesn't stay static.
No, yeah.
Right.
I don't know if they would know.
No, but one day I'd like to work my way through them. No. Okay, I need a ride home. No.
I feel that.
Yeah. All right. Further questions for tonight? Don't see too many coming in. So thank you for joining us for Mayor's Update this week. We're happy. I rushed back and got all my papers spread out. I'm going to spend a half an hour cleaning up the dining room table now, but but thank you for joining us tonight. Please share with your friends. If you've been on watching, please share with them that you've been watching Mayor's Update, and they should watch. There were some good things to talk about this week. So perfect.
Absolutely. And if they have questions, tell them to come on in here and share them with us, so you can share them with the broad audience.
I've been answering that a little bit more, whether it's on my favorite St. Thomas Facebook site or not. It is, hey, that's a great question. Mm-hmm. Why don't you ask it on Mayor's Update next week at 6:30, and we'll give the answer right then and there. So let's do that as much as we can. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. All right. Well, Mayor Joe, have a fantastic evening. Thanks again. Appreciate your time.
And thank you. I know you'll be out early tomorrow morning droning. So
yes, I will be. Yes,
it is your morning exercise now, grading out droning. So
yeah, go for the sunrise and have a siesta.
I said he's droning on and on. Anyway, well, we'll leave that one. Do you have to not drone during the air show? Is there like hey, you can't have anything in the air?
You're not really allowed to be around the airport anyway.
Anyway, okay, all right.
So yeah, it's kind of like a no-fly zone in general.
Right, okay, all right. So,
Yeah.
so if they bring an airplane somewhere near where your drone is already flying, that would be their problem. Right, no, I get it.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
There's restrictions on height too that you can go.
no, you can't go way up to where they're flying. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Graydon. Thank you all. We'll see you all next week on Mayor's Update.
Take care, everyone.